1, 2, 3.
Hey there, it's Dr. Dave Fletcher from CLA, and we have a special treat for you today. It's Dr. Martha Nessler and I having a conversation, and what we're going to focus on today, thanks Martha for being here, we're going to focus today on a really exciting conversation that we had, again rehashing it. I mean, you're from New Zealand, I'm from Canada, and here we are in San Diego, making the most of our time actually. And what I really wanted to have our listeners focus on and hear is this story that you brought to me about the great success you had in screening. I mean, listen, I know your office, I've been there, it's gorgeous, and it sits in a really funky town that really needs to know more about what we do in health and otherwise. But it's a town that really doesn't have this relationship, if you would, with chiropractic yet.
With health.
Or with health,
Yeah.
period. And so, you know, I thought it was very bold and very brave, and just a little bit of a background too was that you were bringing on a new associate.
Yeah, he started the day of the
Yeah.
screening.
So
Yeah.
you really wanted to seed the practice. So I'd love our listeners and viewers to know the success you had and how you came about it.
Yeah, it did stem from a conversation you and I had to really focus on the stress and the what's your score.
Yeah.
So in New Zealand, the phrase "she'll be right, mate." That's a phrase that you hear a lot, especially where we live. We live in a small onion town next door to a little bit of a bigger onion horse town. And so we went to what's called an A&P show, kind of like a farm, and we made signs. And we actually didn't even have time to have them printed, so I just got what we call real estate board, and I wrote, "Will she really be right, mate? Don't guess, test your stress."
Yeah.
And I set our CA out. You're only allowed to step 2 feet out of your little area. There's a lot of rules in New Zealand, so I sent Lisa out, and I said, "You're a horsey girl. I want you to go out there, and I want you to really ask them if they'll be right, mate, you know?" And she just started asking, and I'm not kidding you, Dave. The line was so long, we couldn't even scan everybody.
Yeah.
We actually got told on for being too busy at our booth by other vendors. They thought that we were too busy. But that day was amazing, and our new doctor was amazing. He had 27 new patients that he booked in his first day. And he goes, "What am I going to do?" And he'd just gotten off the plane from India. And I said, "Listen, here's the deal. All you're going to do is you're going to check their posture. I'm going to scan them, and we're going to talk about their stress. And that's how we're going to knock this one out." And we ended up booking 73 new patients total with the referrals. We booked 67 in those 2 days, about 7-hour days. And we were so busy. I'm not kidding you, Dave. I was sending Dean's children to go and get us drinks and things. It was amazing. And the funny thing was everybody was so happy that we could show them something tangible. And we only showed them the first 5 levels of their muscles.
Yeah.
But then they came in and they got their scores, and we actually had people cry, Dave. We had people say, "I'm not going to be able to keep up with this." And you know, when you can get that emotion on a first visit, you've got a patient for life. And I mean, you know, we closed, I think, 75% of care plans for at least 26 visits right away. So.
Right on. Well, you know, I think that our listeners really are so excited to hear the success. And listen, this is in uncharted territory in the sense that it doesn't have to be something that you've done over and over again. It can be anywhere. I mean, this was an agricultural fair.
Agricultural fair where people literally don't have emails where I live. I mean, you know, that's one of our only problems with the COREscore is you have to have an email. It's like, I can't make up enough emails for these people. But, you know, Dave, it's keeping it simple, sunshine. That's all I can always say is you speak the truth and you talk about something they understand stress. They don't understand the parasympathetic-sympathetic relationship.
So let's just recap that. So you put it in the language and the vernacular of what the people would understand. Right, in the culture. You then said, you know, which is sort of our branded principle, don't guess, test for stress, test your stress. And then what you did was you just used the power of visualization, the power of experience, to bring it forward, and all of a sudden the lines started to form.
Well, yeah.
But then you closed them.
Yeah, well, the thing is we just simply said, listen, if we only checked 5 levels in your neck, imagine what could be going on in your whole body. Like, you definitely have some areas we want to address. And the best part was once we got going enough with it, some people said, "Oh, I just want to come in. My friend, she just told me that she was that bad. I know I'm worse than she is. I want to go ahead and book in." And we had numerous people that we didn't even have to scan or check their posture. They just booked in for a COREscore.
Yeah, and you know, briefly, when I was doing big corporate fairs, you know, this thing, we would have 6 scanners set up in this big project, and we would scan 900 people over it. But the trouble is that we didn't have really good reporting in that era. The COREscore is a vastly different experience. The COREscore now makes it so that you can have this really vivid conversation that doesn't go left or right, goes right down the middle, and it's like, let's, you know, don't guess, let's check your stress. And I love this COREscore. I love the stress message, and I love the fact that screening is where it's at.
Well, when this is the first time, you know, I will admit, like, I don't think that my retention was as high in America because I didn't utilize the COREscore to the level and the degree that we do now.
Yeah.
And now that we're doing that, our retention is amazing because at that end of 26 visits, they sit there and they go, my score's not high enough. Like,
Yeah.
I clearly have to buy another plan because they can see that it's something tangible. I'm not talking them into something. They get to see that and realize they've got to take it to the next level because it's really their decision ultimately.
And just on a closing thought, you know, what we're talking about is really this cash-based model. I mean, it gives you the confidence to really say, you know, we're going to take you through this journey of raising your score, and it's well worth the money you pay.
Well, and I live in New Zealand, so we are about probably 95% cash. We have to take ACC,
Right.
standardized healthcare, but we even get a lot of people that say, I didn't want to use my ACC.
Yeah.
Like, and we actually had 10 people who started last month for wellness only.
And that's common.
Yeah.
They love the idea of the score, and they love the idea that the score matters and means something.
Well, I think the best is when parents see a low score in their children.
Right,
Because that's the biggest wake-up call. That's when they automatically sign the kids up because they can't believe that their kid's a 53.
No, and it isn't.
Yeah.
It's not acceptable.
It's not acceptable, yeah.
Thanks so much. That was great fun. I'm glad that we have a chance to share a few more moments here and pick your brain and get your experiences out on this
Yeah.
this video.
Thanks.
You bet.